You're such an asshole.
Continue on at assholeconsulting.com. We are the only company in the world that tells you the truth. I guess there's a couple authors and radio show personalities that do the same, but we charge for it. Because we're assholes. At assholeconsulting.com. Dear Aaron, please keep me anonymous. We shall. Succinct, never entered my strong suit. I'll just pay more for your time. This is more of an intellectual exercise. That is, I've already made my decision, but would be fascinated to hear your opinion. Background, older guy, fading health, well paid, make work job, no savings, but a considerable amount of physical gold. A 15-year-old son who has a few very minor mental and physical problems. No. What is it? The ADHDs and the Asperger's again? I just no. I don't believe it. No. I mean, I know the psychologist might say it, but I don't believe it. What I want to do is provide my son with a passive income, say, from rental property. The important thing is that you understand that this income would be modest, say $500 to $700 a month, plus or minus. That's not modest. That is not modest. For a 15-year-old, that is rent. That is spoiling someone. That is making life way easier. Your son you are shielding him from way too much stuff with that much money. If it was like $100 or $200, like, okay, I'm going to help you pay for groceries. The kid is still suffering and starving on other ends, that he or she is going to be forced with the pressure of modern day demands of life that they will galvanize into diamonds or steel at the end of their journey by the time they become a real adult. This is enough. That's rent. You've just... Look, you need Maslow's hierarchy of needs biting at his ass the entire time, so he is working harder and connects with the pains and the threats of death, of starvation, homelessness, and the cold. Now, I don't know where he lives, but Minnesota, that was definitely an issue. That prompted you to get off your ass. A kid could get by on that if he was really, really smart with his money. What I then hope is that this income will help him in life, that it will be liberating for him in the sense that he'll know that if he comports himself modestly and sensibly, he'll never end in abject poverty. No, I don't think a 15-year-old is that smart. Modern day 15, I mean, it's possible. I've seen parents raise their kids the right way. You know, I can't universally blanket say 15-year-olds wouldn't be able, would squander the money or wouldn't. So I know if you raised your kid the right way, they would save it. Me, I would have saved it. If all of a sudden somebody came up to me and said, hey, because we didn't have any. Well, I'm saving that. But I don't think a 15-year-old on average, certainly not on average, has the wisdom to say, if I invest this in a mutual fund and it compounds at 8.3% per annum, then look, I'll be retired at the age of 37. No. Mr. Verbosa's question to you is, you've been poor, knowing what you know now, would you have become an insufferably arrogant person when young and getting a modest amount of money each month? Hang on. You've been poor. Knowing what you know now, would you have become an insufferably arrogant young person while young? Okay, because I am an insufferably arrogant person, but I earned every ounce of that. But while young, probably not me, but again, this gets into the issue. I wasn't the average 15-year-old, and I sure the fuck ain't the average man today. And getting a modest amount of money, it's not modest, each month, would you have had the sense to see it as an enormous opportunity and cushion to more quickly achieve your goals? I personally would have seen it as an enormous opportunity. Because by the time I was 15, I realized, I was working at 12, because fuck, parents aren't going to get me the toys I want. I'm not going to get what I want. That's obvious. Merry Christmas, here's a sweater. Fuck you. Did you see? It was always a joke. It became funny. Put together a Christmas wish list or your birthday gift list. After a while, yeah, thanks. I'm going to go collect cans. I collected cans. I guess technically my first job was when I was 8. I want that. And you're not going to get it for me, so I'm going to go collect cans and go dumpster diving and get cans. Michigan paid 10 cents a can back in the 80s. Good money if you could make it for an 8-year-old. So, but take this out of it. I'm not your 15. I'm not your 15-year-old kid. Isn't me. It's just it's not. And the average 15-year-old is not going to have the wisdom to do that. So I had some questions. The important thing is to remember that I don't want my son to have enough money to live on, but a supplement. Yeah, that's... Hang on, let me see. Okay, the questions I had. So is the 15-year-old working right now? Does he have some kind of job? And what are these minor mental issues? Anyway, blah, 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 blah. To your questions, no, he does. He goes to a regular German school, and as an included student, learns less, has a helper, does not work. In a few months, he goes to a new school, learning more school stuff, but gets gently immersed into a trade. The Germans are very generous, and after reading Enjoy the Collapse, I think I mean Enjoy the Decline, I now have no problem taking as many benefits as I can. Oh yeah, dude, totally take as much as you can. As he wrote, nothing I could do will change the general trajectory of the West. I want to enjoy my time and help my boy. His mental problems are hard to describe. So he reads poorly and won't read voluntarily. Well, I didn't read. Who wants to read? Well, that's a normal 15-year-old boy. Here, read this. It's a good book. Oh, I read. We read. No. Except for computer games. Well, okay, so he is literate. He can read. He just doesn't want to read boring shit. In some way, he's really clever, remembering things, public transportation schedules, for example, thinking creatively. He has panic attacks from his mom and grandma. Oh, okay, all right. No, we don't do that. We don't do that here. We don't do the social anxiety attacks. We don't do the ADHDs. You got to man the fuck up and tell your son, hey, son, that's in the past. And it is. You know, it is going to screw him. But we have a choice. The whole world can pamper little Jimmy. I don't know if his name's Jimmy. Or you say, son, knock that fucking shit off. You can't afford it. You cannot afford it. He has panic attacks from his mom and girl. Why the fuck did you marry that mom then? I know we're hard on single moms for choosing the wrong guys to procreate, but what guys, you got the same responsibility here. Did you not see the bipolar medication? Did she not act crazy? Mostly it's his physical problems, his gait. He hardly uses his left hand and can't do fiddly stuff, even to the extent of having enormous trouble tying his shoe. Dude, does he have a nervous system? Does he have nerve damage? See, I'm trying to figure out if this is one, a genuine mental illness, or in this case, a genuine physical illness. Does he have nerve damage? A biophysiological problem? Or is this fucking bullshit? Well, I can't use my left arm. And no fucking parent ever came in and says, use your fucking left arm now. I don't know what it is. And today, I have every right to be suspect. Because back in the day, if you actually had a mental illness, you actually had one. A physical, you actually had a, cerebral palsy. Oh yeah, Jimmy, we gotta push him around in the wheelchair. No, he can't play tackle football. Pretty good. I can't. He could throw. But we would play the game. I can't say it. Not monkey in the middle, but schmear the... Because we can't say that. I don't want to get a flag. Fun game! Kids didn't even know what it was. They're like, yeah, let's get him. But you couldn't tackle. You could throw. Anyway. He speaks indistinctly and doesn't know that he dribbles. Like, out of the mouth, writing that makes him sound a lot worse than he is, though in some way he's cleverer and nicer than I am. Okay. It sounds like, look, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, even though half of them are fucking frauds and fakes in my opinion, all right? Is he mentally impaired? And not by today's standards, I mean like old school standards, 1985 standards. Like, is he mentally impaired? Can he go and function? Did you have his IQ test? And is he physically disabled? All right? Or is this a fucking thing that's derived from his mother? And somebody's got to get in there and crack the whip. I don't know. That's for people who are paid a lot more money by taxpayer dollars than me. All right? I can maybe just evaluate paths for you at this time. I can't diagnose shit from here. But it sounds like if he's drooling and he has a speaking disorder and his left side is shot, it sounds like he had a stroke, frankly. And now it's not an issue of, well, if you were my age and back and then and you got this money, would it spoil you? This kid might be genuinely physically and mentally impaired. And then as such would need help. Now, I think this is kind of good that he's going into a trade of some kind so he can work and become a contributing member of society. Not to mention, you can't just have the kid sit at home. That makes it even worse. Now he can play video. Is his left hand good with video games? Because well, hey, what happened to your left hand? How come you can use your left hand and play? Boy, you hit that Nazi far away with the M1 Garand pretty far with your left hand. How come you can't tie your shoelaces? I mean, this is where I'd have to, I don't know, I'm guessing. But based on all these, what do you call them? Symptoms, it sounds like your question is moot. It sounds like he's going to need help. And to leave him a property or some kind of residual income would be good or almost necessary. With my precious metals, it's difficult to be candid electronically. Here in Germany, I don't need to know how much you have. Dual set. I'm just reading through his strategy. Okay, you want to buy a house in Australia because you have some family there. Okay. Okay. I'd like a video response. I don't care if you leave me out of this altogether. Oh, I don't always agree with you, but you and Adam Pickett provided an excellent service. To his credit, Adam wasn't insulted when I wrote him that he was an opinionated bastard. Oh no, you gotta really work to insult Adam Pickett. He's a real man. Look, insults don't really offend men, and he probably appreciates. Yes, I am. Thank you very much. You gotta piss him. You want to piss him off? Just mail him some Irish Spring. Tell him he stinks. Say, hey, here's some Irish Spring. He doesn't spend his money. Okay, yeah, I can't. You gotta. No, you can't do this to me now. Say, I don't mention this. No, it's too late. It's too late. You can get my opinion. If you want, I'll delete it later. I'm not retroactively changing things now. No one knows who you are. I've kept you anonymous. Yeah, dude. Okay, let's get focused here. It sounds to me that your son has mental and physical issues that may actually be genuine. And because of that, he's going to need help throughout life. So your best bet is to do what you're doing now. Send him off to a school where he learns a trade. He can work. Maybe even talk to a therapist and a neurologist to find out, does he actually have some problems? Or is this fake and you can't see any hard evidence that he has problems? And then I am not against you giving him money as some kind of monthly pension. The only issues I would have about it is I would not give it to him when he's 15. He's 15. He's living at home. He doesn't need the money now. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't tell him you're about to give him the money because then he's going to expect it. You want the kid to grow up not in a vacuum, but assuming that life is going to go that way. Like if I ever made billions of dollars, if I had kids, I would not tell my kids that. I would have an apartment. I'd drive the crappy cars I do now. I'd go to my office. What is there? And I'd wear a blue overall something to make it look like I was a regular blue collar worker. And not until my kids were 30, I wouldn't pay for anything. I'd maybe pay for like a car or transportation or a cell phone or something. But no, you're paying for your own. You're paying for that. You're paying for this. And then when they were 30 and supporting themselves, then that Christmas say, oh, by the way, we're net billionaires and here's your cash. Because then they would have been programmed by that time to be self-reliant, independent adults. They say, I want to make sure. So you don't want to tell the kid that he's going to get it or give it to him right now. All right, so don't tell him about it. That's number one. Number two, you are going to have to switch out of your gold into some kind of asset that generates a dividend of some kind so that it will pay him this $500 to $700 a month. Rental property will do that, but what I'm afraid of is you're going to have him manage it, or are you going to have it and you're just going to cut him a check? If you're going to manage the asset that's going to generate the income to pay your kid, that's fine because you're competent and you have the wisdom and you can do it. And you're not dying tomorrow. You will have to worry about legacy and estate issues, passing this on to your child, and inheritance issues, but I think that's a little bit down the road. But as for what asset you invest in, I don't care, and I can't give you specific advice about that. I mean, obviously, you want to look at high-paying dividends, something that has a higher rate of return, that actually generates some kind of cash flow, maybe a bond, inflationary-adjusted bonds. The risk about Australia is the Australian housing market is, oh my God, it's insane. Housing prices have decoupled so much from rents because of Asian and Chinese money coming in and just buying up property. Not to mention, everyone wants to live on the beach. I did an analysis for Adam Piggott many years ago. He's like oh, we're thinking about buying property down in Melbourne, and I looked at price to rents, and I'm like, are you fucking joking me? This is not an investment. You're buying a luxury good and these are people living in the building. This has nothing to do with rents if you look at it at rent. So you really got to look. You got to do a thorough, full analysis of buying a property in Australia to make sure that you get some kind of rate of return on your money. Otherwise, it's just going to be damn. Because here's the other thing about rental property. Then you got to manage it. You better be in Australia managing it. Otherwise, if you're in your country that you're in now, I don't know how you manage it that far away. Hopefully, you have good family and friends down in Oz. But I would be doing something a lot easier. And even though the markets are overvalued and interest rates are jack fuck all shit, I would be convert your precious metals into some kind of cash flow generating thing. So maybe if you still like the idea of real estate or real estate investment trust, you can look at ETFs, mutual funds, whatever. But again, that you're maybe not right there at that point in time, but I'd be looking into some liquid financial security you can buy from the convenience of your desk, place a trade, buy it, generate the income, pay out your kid. The key thing, though, is I would not leave your kid the property, especially if he has a genuine mental impairment. He is mentally retarded and physically impaired as well. I don't know if he has the ability to manage that estate. You may even want to think about getting a trustee and set up a trust for the kid and have the trust managed by a trustor to manage it in the best interest of the kid. So when you pass away, you'll definitely want to go talk to a lawyer and look at setting up a trust potentially for your kid. But again, without getting to know more about your kid, even seeing the kid, like, oh, I can't tie my shoelaces with my left hand, but damn, he's really good with his left hand shooting communists on Call of Duty, Red Assault. It's like, well, maybe you're lying, kid. So that's it. So, all right, that's it. If you want me to delete this later, you can download it or whatever, I will. You guys got questions, I got answers, assholeconsulting.com. Donate to my Patreon because I don't need the money, and it really pisses off the left when you give a guy, especially a white male who's straight and, well, I'm not Christian, but, 3 out of 4 ain't bad. If you give him more money, that pisses off the left, especially when he doesn't need it. You go to patreon.com/Aaron Clarey. Buy my books. The wisdom in there is more than you'll get than there's in doctorate in the liberal arts and all that other good jazz. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.